Wow. Breaking news coming from the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young is officially benched. And I want to be honest, I'm not surprised, but I also am surprised. I'm surprised because this is still a first overall pick, a guy you've invested a lot of time into this point. So benching him would be like a failure on you, to be honest. So it's like, do you probably want to keep him out there, have him his confidence back, and also not make yourself look bad, maybe? Sure, but also you still don't want the rest of this team to get lost either, because we've been hearing the receivers complaining about not being targeted when they're open and things like that. And that's where Bryce Young comes in. Bryce Young, I think he's had a terrible situation from his rookie season, at least. But when you look at it now, I think he's had opportunities, and Bryce Young is just not seeing those receivers open, and he's just not playing well. So it could be play calling, and it could be Bryce Young just not particularly playing well, in my opinion. I know a lot of people want to be on the side of Bryce Young here, but even though the Panthers are going to be tortured for benching him, at the end of the day, this is kind of the best for them right now, because if you keep Bryce Young out there and this team continues to play well, you're going to cause problems for your team all around, especially their receiving core. And it's only week 3 of the NFL season coming up, so imagine having problems already in week 3 for this team. I don't think any team wants that, no matter how bad they are, because then again, the Panthers are going to have to fire another coach because they're losing their locker room. A lot of the receivers they just got are going to want to request trades. So it's like, at the end of the day, this is probably the best move from the Panthers, culture-wise, if that makes sense. And yes, there is no culture with the Panthers. Their culture is terrible. Dave Tepper has, completely ruined this team, in my opinion. He doesn't know how to run a team. So there is no culture, but you don't want to lose any of the bad culture you have, if that makes sense. I know somebody's going to say, you're waffling. What is this dude talking about? Trust me, think about it, it makes sense. And trust me, I want to have all the sympathy in the world for Bryce Young. I really do. But when it comes to quarterbacks after their rookie season, I take the gloves off. I say, okay, we're going to be less coddling of you. We're going to have more criticism of you. And that's exactly what happened to Bryce Young here. It's in his second season of the NFL, and now more criticism is coming towards his way. On this play right now, it's almost a perfect example of how Bryce Young has played over the last couple weeks. Right here's one of the prime examples how bad Bryce Young has been. So right here on this play right here, you're going to see Adam Thielen get open, but what does Bryce Young do? Bryce Young can step into the pocket, right? Instead, he runs out and takes a sack. It's just bad pocket presence. Watch it from this end right here. I'm playing it in slow motion, so if I'm talking to, take up time, that's probably why. But right here, once again, you're going to see it from this end right here. The ball is going to be snapped. Bryce Young can just step into the pocket and make that throw to Adam Thielen, as you saw in the other play. But instead, he runs out of the sack and runs into a sack, I should say. And it's terrible. And plays like that are why you just can't blame the Panthers for benching Bryce Young. I know it's malpractice because the Panthers have invested so much into him. But when you're doing things like this consistently on tape, as Dave Cannell said, it's like, okay, man, you need to be benched. You need to find your confidence. You need to do something because you're hurting this team. You're hurting it pretty badly. But I also have to ask this question. If we come to this game Sunday and this offense doesn't change, then who do you blame? Because you no longer have Bryce Young to blame. You just benched him, and you just saw, even with the replacement at quarterback, nothing has changed for this offense. It's still terrible. So the Panthers are not going to have a scapegoat. The staff is not going to be able to blame Bryce Young. So now we're going to be looking at you saying play calling is an issue. You're the problem. You're clearly messing up this team. Bryce Young is probably not a franchise quarterback, unfortunately, in my opinion. I hate to say it, but maybe that'll change next week. But right now, I don't see it in him. Personally, I think he just came from one of those Alabama teams that had a lot of elite talent on their side of the ball, especially their offensive side of the ball. And Bryce Young was propped up heavily by that. And now we're seeing it in the NFL that he doesn't have those same prospects, and he's struggling big time. It's not like CJ Stroud, who didn't really come to the NFL with a lot of elite guys on his Texas team, and he played up well with them. Nico Collins is one of the better receivers in the league, in my opinion. Tank Dell is good, and Stephon Diggs wasn't on that team, so I won't count him, honestly. Like I said, I want to give Bryce Young the benefit of the doubt. I want to believe that he is a franchise quarterback, but when I look at him play, honestly, I just see a lot of mistakes, and I just see a quarterback that's probably very, very in shambles right now. But we'll see how this decision affects the Panthers, if it will make them any better. Personally, I don't know if it's going to be anything much better. It should be improved, but it's not going to be better to the point where you're going to be like, oh, they're contenders, they're a playoff team. no, this is still a very bad team in my opinion all around. You guys feel free to let me know how you feel about the situation in the comments down below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and tap the bell icon for future sports content. And follow me on social media down below in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.